Once when a lion, the king of the jungle, was asleep, a little mouse began running up and down on him. This soon awakened the lion, who placed his huge paw on the mouse, and opened his big jaws to swallow him. "Pardon, O king," cried the little mouse. "Forgive me this time. I shall never repeat it, and I shall never forget your kindness. And who knows, I may be able to do you a good turn one of these days." The lion was so tickled by the idea of the mouse being able to help him that he lifted his paw and let him go. Sometime later, a few hunters captured the lion and tied him to a tree. After that they went in search of a wagon to take him to the zoo. Lion and mouse story. Just then the little mouse happened to pass by. On seeing the lion's plight, he ran up to him and gnawed away the ropes that bound him, the king of the jungle. "Was I not right?" said the little mouse, very happy to help the lion. Moral: small acts of kindness will be rewarded greatly. One summer's day, in a field, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing to its heart's content. An ant passed by, bearing along with great effort an ear of corn he was taking to his nest. "Why don't you come and chat with me?" asked the grasshopper, "instead of toiling your life away?" "I am helping to store up food for the winter," said the ant, "and I recommend you to do the same." "Why bother about winter?" said the grasshopper. "We have got plenty of food at present." But the ant went on its way and continued its toil. When winter came, the grasshopper found itself dying of hunger, while it saw the ants distributing, every day, corn and grain from the stores they had collected in summer. Then the grasshopper knew. Moral: work today and you can reap the benefits tomorrow. Once upon a time, there lived a very cunning and mischievous fox. He used to speak to other animals sweetly and gain their trust, before playing tricks on them. One day, the fox met a stork. He befriended the stork and acted like a very good friend. Soon, he invited the stork to have a feast with him. The stork happily accepted the invitation. The day of the feast came, and the stork went to the fox's house. To her surprise and disappointment, the fox said that he could not make a big feast as promised, and just offered some soup. When he brought the soup out of the kitchen, the stork saw that it was in a shallow bowl. The poor stork could not have any soup with its long bill, but the fox easily licked the soup from the plate. As the stork just touched the soup with the tip of its bill, the fox asked her, "How is the soup? Don't you like it?" The hungry stork replied, "Oh, it is good, but my stomach is upset, and I can't take any more soup." "I'm sorry for troubling you," said the fox. The stork replied, "Oh dear, please don't say sorry. I have some health problem and cannot enjoy what you offer." She left the place after thanking the fox, and inviting him to her house for dinner. The day arrived, and the fox reached the stork's place. After exchanging pleasantries, the stork served soup for both of them, in a narrow jar with a long neck. She was able to have the soup very easily with her long bill, but the fox obviously could not. After finishing hers, the stork asked the fox if he was enjoying the soup. The fox remembered the feast he himself had given the stork, and felt very ashamed. He stammered, I'd better leave now. I have a tummy ache." Humiliated, he left the place running. Moral: one bad turn begets another. One hot day, a thirsty crow flew all over the fields looking for water. For a long time, she could not find any. She felt very weak, almost giving up hope. Suddenly, she saw a water jug below her. She flew straight down to see if there was any water inside. Yes, she could see some water inside the jug. The crow tried to push her head into the jug. Sadly, she found that the neck of the jug was too narrow. Then she tried to push the jug down for the water to flow out. She found that the jug was too heavy. The crow thought hard for a while. Then looking around her, she saw some pebbles. She suddenly had a good idea. She started picking up the pebbles one by one, dropping each into the jug. As more and more pebbles filled the jug, the water level kept rising. Soon it was high enough for the crow to drink. Her plan had worked. She drank the water and flew away. Moral: if you try hard enough, you may soon find an answer to your problem. One hot day, an ant was searching for some water. After walking around for some time, she came to a spring. To reach the spring, she had to climb up a blade of grass. While making her way up, she slipped and fell into the water. She could have drowned if a dove up a nearby tree had not seen her. Seeing that the ant was in trouble, the dove quickly plucked a leaf and dropped it into the water near the struggling ant. The ant moved towards the leaf and climbed up onto it. Soon, the leaf drifted to dry ground, and the ant jumped out. She was safe at last. Just at that time, a hunter nearby was about to throw his net over the dove, hoping to trap it. Guessing what he was about to do, the ant quickly bit him on the heel. Feeling the pain, the hunter dropped his net. The dove was quick to fly away to safety. Moral: one good turn begets another. Once upon a time, there was a tortoise in a jungle who lived life on his own terms. He was quiet, polite, and non-interfering. In the same town lived a hare who loved to talk about the very many awards he had won for always finishing first in a race. One day he came up to the tortoise and said, "Why don't you learn to walk faster? If you do, we can race someday." The tortoise only smiled at him and moved on. The hare was in a wicked mood. Every day, he would approach the tortoise at the same place and pass the same comment. One fine day, when the hare challenged him again, the tortoise replied, "All right, I accept the challenge." He looked around and saw the other jungle animals clapping their hands and cheering him on. A few days later, the race began. The entire jungle came to a standstill to see the result of this great challenge. When the race began, the hare overtook the tortoise within no time. His speed was remarkably high, making him cover a considerable distance on the track. When he looked back and saw how far behind he had left the tortoise, the hare decided to stop running and rest for a while. He lay down under a huge banyan tree on one side of the track. The lovely shade of the leaves sent him into a deep slumber. Meanwhile, the tortoise ran with his slow speed without giving up and stopping. As time passed, he gradually caught up with the hare, who was still sleeping. The tortoise crossed by him and continued moving towards the winning line. Slowly but surely, the tortoise reached the finish line and won the race. The entire town started clapping for the tortoise. The loud cheers woke up the hare from his deep sleep. He woke up, not realizing what had happened. He rubbed his eyes and thought to himself, "Gosh, the tortoise must be still struggling." The hare got up and dashed towards the winning post. When he got there, he saw that, to his surprise, the tortoise was wearing the victory crown and all the other animals were congratulating him. The tortoise saw the hare from a distance and smiled at him. The hare sat down, regretting the action that made him lose the race against the slowest animal of the jungle. Moral of the story: overconfidence is not good. Once upon a time there lived a farmer in a village. He had the good fortune to have a goose, which laid a golden egg every day. The farmer goes to the town and sells the golden egg for a good price. The farmer sold those eggs every day and made a good fortune. As he became richer, he became greedier as well. He became very impatient and wanted to grow rich instantly. The farmer decided to cut open the goose and have all the golden eggs instantly. There was nothing but blood all around and no trace of any egg at all. The farmer becomes sad and repented for his greed. Moral: too much greed always leads to great loss. Once upon a time, an old man lived with his 3 sons in a village. The 3 sons were hard workers. Still, they quarreled all the time. The old man tried a lot to unite them, but he failed. Though the villagers appreciated their hard work and efforts, they made fun of them on their fights. Months passed by and the old man fell sick. He told his sons to stay united, but they didn't listen to him. So, he decided to teach them a practical lesson so that they would forget their differences and stay united. The old man called his sons. He told them, "I will give you a bundle of sticks. Separate each stick and you will have to break each stick into 2. The one who breaks the sticks quickly will be rewarded more." The sons agreed. The old man gave a bundle of 10 sticks to each of them and asked them to break each stick into pieces. They broke the sticks into pieces in minutes, and again they started to quarrel among themselves as to who came first. The old man said, "Dear sons, the game is not over. Now I will give another bundle of sticks to each of you. You will have to break the sticks as a bundle, not as separate sticks." The sons agreed and tried to break the bundle of sticks. Though they tried their best, they could not break the bundle. They failed to complete the task. The 3 sons reported their failure to their father. The old man replied, "Dear sons, see. You could easily break the single sticks into pieces, but you were not able to break the bundle. So, if you stay united, nobody can do any harm to you. If you quarrel every time with your brothers, anyone can easily defeat you. I request you to stay united." The 3 sons understood the power of unity and promised their father that whatever be the situation, they would all stay together. Moral: unity is strength. One afternoon, a fox was walking through the forest and spotted a bunch of grapes hanging from a lofty branch. "Just the thing to quench my thirst," said the fox. Taking a few steps back, the fox jumped and just missed the hanging grapes. Again, the fox took a few paces back and tried to reach them, but still failed. Finally, giving up, the fox turned up his nose and said, "They're probably sour anyway." Then he walked away. Moral: it's easy to despise what you cannot have.